Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille and today is 11th of April 2020. Welcome to video number 106. Today we're gonna mirror or take this whole thing inside out that we talked about yesterday and day before and so on. Because yesterday we talked about, asking your girl about three things that you irritate her. But now we're gonna kind of go back one video and we're gonna not ask positive things to her, but we're gonna ask ourselves about her. You know what I mean? So we're kind of trying to flip this box in every way possible. But when we went through the things that we asked about ourselves, asking her, it's gonna great to kind of reverse that because we're gonna learn a lot about her and about ourselves, but in a different relationship. Because if you ask yourself about three most positive things that she brings to your relationship, into your life, and you really think it through, because if you do that, it might take you some time to answer those questions, because I know that it took me. It's gonna be interesting to see what you're gonna come up with. And first of all, if if you went through the previous videos and you asked her about positive things and negative things, I assume it already happened because I knew that I'm going to record about it, and that was obvious that if I asked her and I told my wife about when I was recording yesterday, she automatically asked the same things, but then she reversed this whole thing. So that is obvious that's going to happen. So if you haven't done it, just be prepared that it might. Because it's kind of challenging and fun, but then it tells you a lot about truth. Because it just shows you the things that are important, positive or negative. And if we started this discussion already, then wouldn't she ask you about the same things different way, and then the opposite way? So let's just look at what can you learn from this. And there will be three things again, and interestingly enough, there will be the same things basically that you may that I talked about in previous videos, but now it's gonna be towards yourself, even though you're asking for her, because first thing you're gonna learn is that you're gonna tell a lot about yourself. I'll tell you an example. I asked when my wife asked me about those three things. I told her three things. First of all, I like how open she is, because that doesn't happen very often, and it completely doesn't happen with other people. So the level that a relationship will build, it allows her to not be afraid to open up, and I love this. But then it tells a lot about me, because it tells me that what is important for me is trust. And that's true, because when I look back, every relationship that I try to build with friendship and whatever, well, it was always about trust, and I was conscious about it. So the thing that it's one of the most of my I don't know, things that is important to me, and I got it from her. It's like it's so important that I couldn't even you know explain it enough. Second thing that I told her is I love her intelligence, because whatever I'm going through, whatever thought I come up with, and something new that I discover, I know that if I'll go to her, first of all, she'll be able to talk about it with me, because she completely understands where I'm coming from with all of this, and she loves to have those discussions with me, and I know that whatever I discover, she'll give like an additional at least 50% of knowledge and her own ideas around this, and she's gonna widen my perspective on the subject so far that it's gonna be amazing to see how huge progress I can make just because she's there to give her, let's say, 5 cents would be much more than 5 cents. You know what I'm saying? So again, it tells a lot about me, because it tells me that it's important for me to have like a very intelligent, not only conversation but relationship, and that's very important for me. for I don't know how many years. As far as I'm aware, it was always something that I was really kind of very drawn to. Intelligence, going deeper, being able to see things from different point of views. And interestingly enough, in whatever subject we are talking about, or just something seems interesting, we both are ready to talk about it, and we both are ready to go deep. We're not afraid to ask tough questions. So that was awesome to kind of discover that she is completes me with this completely. And third thing that I told her is that we were able to build a relationship to the point that wherever we go, whatever we do, I'm having really great time with her, and I love spending time with her, because now it took me to the point that no matter what happens, I'm happy. And interestingly enough, it says a lot about me, because if you understand how man psychology works, men are able to be with a girl only if they feel completely free, and that we are able to be in friendship with her. Then we can say that I really like this girl and I want to be with her, and this is exactly what happens. I'm completely happy when I'm with her. And look how much of these things it says about me rather than her. Even though I'm saying three things that she's able to bring to the table of a relationship. So that's why if you're not really, if you didn't do your homework on your self-confidence or your self-awareness, or self-awareness, I think that's the closest to all of this. Then if you point out those three things, see how much it'll tell you about you, how it'll point to the things that are important for you. You can learn about yourself a lot by answering questions about her. So that's the first thing. Second thing that you learn is how much she brings to the table, how much she's important in your life, and how much her impact or her input to the relationship is, and how much you should appreciate it, because that's what she brings to the table. And then you can see that, yeah, my relationship is awesome because she's doing this, she's doing that, she's complaining, she's like kind of is the second part of this whole experience. And it's like without her, this experience would not be there. And then you start to understand how much she's important to you. And that changes the game. Because you see, when you see that once, you cannot unsee this. So that's why I want you to not only to name the things, especially if she just asks you, don't just say three things, that you might, think about in that moment in time. No, just spend time and give her an answer that will matter. And not even matter for her, but matter for you. You want to be as honest as possible, because it will teach you a lot about yourself and going to teach you how much is important for you, and that's important for you to know, brother. And point number 3, what you can do about it. Now, think about it. Because now when you can see how important she is for you, and how much important she is for the relationship and for your experience, and maybe this whole experience starts to be much more like tangible for you now, when you kind of verbalized the things that she's able to bring to the table, and make the part, and that she is part of this relationship, and without her it wouldn't be this way. Then think, maybe you should do something about it. And first of all, what I would suggest you to do, or even challenge you to do, when you really think it through, go to her and sit down with her and tell her, listen, I've been listening to this balding crazy guy in the internet, and he's saying a lot of crazy things, but he pushed me to think about those three things. And or I'm glad that you asked, because he was pushing me to think about it as well. Listen, I really appreciate that you do this, that you are this, that this whole relationship is great because you bring this and make this relationship amazing. And then just allow her to be appreciated. Because trust me, whether you say it a lot, where you're not, it's still not enough. Not that she needs it, or maybe she does, but it's like there's no better thing to hear something positive from a person that you love with. And that's your role. And as I always say, be the leader, be the one who's taking this leadership role in doing positive things in your relationship, especially. So that's why treat it as some kind of a privilege to be able to tell her, listen, I figure out those three things that without which my relationship would not be the same, and this is exactly what you bring to the table. I love you, I appreciate you, and this is something that I couldn't live without. I want you to know that I really, really appreciate it, and I love you for it. And then tell me that you'll not see the spark in her eye, that maybe you'll see tears of happiness, because she won't. This is like the dream come true for the person that she's in love with to hear this kind of words, especially when you're like honest and sincere to the core of your being. You know what I'm saying? That's why don't treat it lightly, but do this challenge and make her day. Listen, brother, because this is what I want you to take from this video. Many times to start appreciate your relationship, you don't need to experience something big, something new. What you need is just to stop, look at what you have, and start appreciating by having clarity on what you really have and how important she is to make you happy in this life. So that's why I challenge you to rethink it. What are the three things that she brings to the table, that the most positive things that she is or she has or she makes you feel? Rethink what does it mean for your relationship and how she's important for you, and just share it with her. Because this moment might be like a milestone, like a very important moment in your relation that will help you to start to build it forward and build it as a really happy relation, because you will not be able to reverse that what you said. That would be so important. So that's why I challenge you, brother. Don't be afraid. Go wild, because that's might be one of the most important things that you've done in months or years. That's it. So, if you like this video, comment. If you didn't like this video or disagree or agree, it doesn't matter. Contact me, or comment or write me something. Just give me your own view on this subject, because I want to talk to you and have this conversation about how it might impact, or maybe how it already impacted your relationship. That would be great to hear some of you saying, how much it changed. Not really for me, but for those who are going to watch these videos. I want them to see that it may change their relationship. And if there's anything you want me to record about, or maybe I'll be able to shed my light or my idea for something that you're struggling with, just give me a shout or DM me. I'll be glad to do it as well. That being said, have a great time with all of this, and see you tomorrow.